How's everyone feeling this morning? Make some noise if you're happy to be at the ICBC, everybody. Make a little noise. Thanks. This is a revolutionary moment in Germany's history. My name is Alex Rogers. I'm the founder and producer of the ICBC. We've been doing this for a few years now in America and Canada, or the United States and Canada, and it's been a long road. We're a gaggle of activists, basically, who started many years ago trying to legalize cannabis in the early 90s in California. It's been a long road, and what we've done is, and to come to Germany right now and do this event is it's a real honor for me, and it's an honor that all you all are here. It's a beautiful crowd, it's a beautiful energy, and it's very professional. And so this is the first event, cannabis event in Europe that encompasses cannabis business and is not a fair or a counterculture event, if you will. That being said, a year and a half ago when I booked this venue, everybody thought that I was crazy, okay? I locked this venue down a year and a half ago. I signed the contract. And of course, most of you know that the German medical marijuana laws had not changed, or the trajectory was they might not change that quick, okay? But I took a chance, and everyone thought I was crazy. Why don't you do it in Amsterdam? Why don't you do it in Barcelona? And I said, because I'm going to do it in Berlin, because Berlin is one of the greatest and most progressive cities on the planet. And I just knew that when Germany would legalize cannabis or medical marijuana, that they would do it in a way that it wouldn't be ambiguous to the law or within the law. It would be clear parameters that people could do business around. You would know where you stood, okay? And that is the case. So what has happened is the German health ministry has legalized medical marijuana in a way very similar to Canada, and it's extremely robust. And I think we have to give it up to the German government, Hermann Groh and the health ministry, for what they have done, because some people think, oh, we should just legalize and we should just do. The point is they've made a big step, okay? And they didn't have to do it. And they did. So let's make some noise for the health ministry, or we wouldn't all be here right now in the way we are. Now, this is a business conference. Make no mistake about it. However, it needs to be very clear that the drug war is a failure. And it's been a failure since its inception. To legislate morality and criminalize personal behavior, I believe in 100 years, when we look back at this, is going to seem like the most archaic form of governance that one could have ever imagined. The drug war is a war on the people, okay? It's a civil war that's inundated by legislation and laws, okay? So, though this is a business conference, the motivation, okay, is compassion, okay, and common sense. Now, those two together create a symbiosis, because without the compassion, you're not going to push the laws. Without the money, you might not push the laws either. But together, they're symbiotic. And so, I impart on you one simple narrative, is that this is an issue of human rights before it is business. Business, make some noise on you. Make some noise. Make some noise. Business is a byproduct of proper, sensical public policy. And that's why we're all here. Most of you are fans or understand cannabis, whether you use it or not, believe that the drug war is a failure. And I can't tell you enough how lucky I feel, because I booked this event and nothing was happening. And then 3 weeks ago, what happened? The laws did change, and now we see a nascent, burgeoning industry coming to Germany in a way that I believe a lot of you could have never imagined 2 years ago. So, it's incumbent upon us to take that responsibility and be good stewards of the new law. Show respect, work within the parameters that we're able to work within, but at the same time, we're never done, and the fight has just begun. Thank you. So I just want to, we sold tickets to 32 different countries. You name a country, and where's Australia at? Australia, you out there? Anybody? Make some noise, Australia. Australia, you all got drunk last night. And are asleep, exactly. Israel, where's Israel, Master? We got anybody from Israel in the house here? Israel too? Come on. All right. How about, where's Holland? Make some noise, Holland. Yeah, that's good. Canada, make some noise, huh? Are you out there? America, United States, make some noise. Austria, make some noise. Yeah. Come on, Austria, you can do better than that. Make some noise, Austria. Ja, das geht schon. Super. Super. So we should be all proud of ourselves. And one thing I just want to say is that we are not a clique. This is not, oh, we're the cool kids and you're this. No, this movement has never been about being cliquey or being groupie. It's about love and understanding. These simple precepts that can take us so far. It's not easy. It can be a hard life. We all make mistakes. But if these tenets we hold true to are love and understanding, then we can not only help the world, but we can change the world fundamentally and systematically. So I just wanted to say thank you very much to everybody. We have an exciting program for you today and tomorrow. We go into medical marijuana research, talking about medical marijuana, and then tomorrow we delve into real hardcore business aspects of what's going on in America and Canada, some of the burgeoning industries, and where is the analogy with Germany, okay? What can we compare? What can we use? How do we not reinvent the wheel, okay? But then also, again, where are there cultural differences and what we need to do to adapt to the German market, okay? I produced this event, I was only 7 days in Berlin. The rest in front of my computer, okay? It sucked. Oh my God, 16 hours a day, and my girl wants to hang out. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this Berlin to make sure it's cool, everyone's there. It's a small world, okay? But I was very culturally sensitive to what's going on. I didn't think I was just going to come in on my horse and with my cowboy hat and my 6-shooter and be like, how y'all like me now, Berlin? No. That doesn't work. So cultural sensitivity is very, very, very important, and I just wanted to tell you all that anything is possible, and we have a great program today, tomorrow, and today we have a private after party with legendary rapper KRS-One and legendary dancehall artist Rocker T at the Gretchen in Kreuzberg. There'll be a bus that takes people there and back starting at, I think it's around 8:45 in front of the hotel. So if you don't, it's probably about a 20-minute walk, a 10-minute cab ride, or a free bus ride. So just so you know, there'll be a bus out there for our after party, and it's going to be a real hoot after a long, somewhat cerebral day of panels. We're going to let loose a little tonight. Who was that? Make some noise if you were at the party last night, everybody. That was awesome. I loved it. Just amazing. The energy here is so great. It's a different energy than has been put together ever in the history of Europe. You're part of history. You're making history. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce my partner in the ICBC and the OMBC. He's the chief petitioner of the legalization measure in Oregon. He's done more for legalization in America than almost anybody. We call him our golden boy in Oregon. Y'all make some noise for Anthony Johnson. Give it up.
Thank you very much, Berlin. Like Alex said, the basis of this conference, even though we're in it to help business and expand business aspects, compassion for patients, keeping people out of prison, helping end the global drug war, is the foundation that the business is built upon. We always want to keep that in mind. And these conferences help me. I know they're going to help you. Share ideas. A lot of things we learn here. I've already learned what's going on in Ireland, what's going on in Germany. Medical cannabis here in Germany in many ways is exceeding what's going on in the United States. I look forward to taking what I've learned here back to the United States and helping the United States government move forward with medical cannabis. And our first keynote speaker today is a pioneer in medical cannabis in Germany, helping lead this global medicinal revolution. She's a psychiatrist and psychotherapist for the medical practice for psychiatry and psychotherapy in Berlin. She helped lead a groundbreaking study in ADHD treatment utilizing cannabis. That study is a great foundation to help other medical cannabis uses to combat other mental health issues. She helps qualified patients get their medical marijuana recommendation prescription here in Germany. She's helping lead the revolution here in Germany, which is spreading across this globe. And please give a warm welcome for a rock star in the global medicinal cannabis movement here in Germany, helping us worldwide, Dr. Eva Milz.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be here because I think it's a chance to find people who promote this new process of getting cannabis back into medicine. It has been there for about 5,000 years, and I really couldn't find out why it took only 50 years to get it right out of every textbook that I could find about medicine. And it's just not a topic that we've been trained for during our medical studies. So I would like to point out at some things or problems that we have with patients, with doctors, finding doctors, and with the stigmatization of cannabis, which we still have, even though we now can use it as medicine. The problem is that we have many knowledge gaps. By using it just recreationally, I think that doctors think they have to just help people who misuse it, and they don't see the patients anymore. And patients feel stigmatized, they feel bad about telling their doctors that it helps them. And many of them come to my practice and they're very sad and they're very afraid, and for them it feels like it's another try and another chance, and they will leave the office without any cannabis prescription. And before we had a big this procedure before the law was so huge and so cost and time intensive that many people didn't just try it, and we only had 1,000 patients in a time between 2007 and 2017 who were able to use marijuana or cannabis flowers. Cannabis has been in pharmacies in Germany until 1969, and it comes back as a flower, and it used to be an extract. So nobody really knows what to do with it. We don't know how to applicate it. We don't know if patients come to us, what can I offer them? It's really weird to tell them, this is all I can give you. So we need really, really many things that help patients to apply it and for the intake. If we talk about side effects, I would say the biggest side effect right now is the cost, is the finance. Patients in Germany have to pay for it by themselves. We don't have this reimbursement yet. So it's, for most of them, they have to give all their money for cannabis, and it doesn't really make sense because they say it's prescribed, I get it, and why do insurances don't pay for it? So this is another point why people don't accept their own medication, because it's not paid for. And if you can use something and everyone says, well, you can use it, but we are not really, we don't think that it really helps because we don't have trials, then the patient feels bad about it. So most patients who come to me, they say, oh, the problem is that I feel intoxicated. And this is something other doctors would never expect. They think patients come and need the THC. They want to get high, they want to misuse it. And they don't know about the properties of CBD, for example. They've never heard of CBD, most patients neither. So there are many knowledge gaps. The endocannabinoid system has been discovered about 1999, and I didn't know about it until, well, 5 years ago when I started really getting into it. I've been treating patients for 2 years now, and I've seen many people who get a real big increase in quality of life. Cannabis is more personalized medicine. It's individualized. You have to talk to the patient to find out what helps. And this is another problem, that the doctor doesn't know about the cannabis. Most times patients know about the properties and about the benefits, and they have to talk to get this together. So the doctor has to admit or has to feel that it's not bad not to know too much about cannabis. He can listen to his patient, he knows how it works for him, and the patient doesn't know what the disease shows and how the symptoms are. So if they work together, they can find out, well, you take this and it helps for the symptoms, and it's rather than treating a disease. It's doctors are used to giving medication to patients and say 20 milligram in the morning, 20 milligram at night. It will never be like this for cannabis, and that's for most doctors. It's not familiar. You cannot. You don't explain to the patient, well, try, and if it helps, then take a little more or a little less. And for most patients, this is weird as well. The trial and error thing is something that right now is ongoing, and we only have some strains. And this is also something that doctors have to find out, that it's not only cannabis. Cannabis is not cannabis, but it takes a while to get into it and to find out what are the properties of the different strains. Right now we have about 9, and it's not always just a matter of availability. It's also, well, many fear the intoxication and they fear the psychosis. And it's, even though psychosis is not the biggest adverse event, it's the most feared. I have a patient who came to me with a paranoid schizophrenia, and he said, well, I use cannabis and it helps. And I said, well, how can this be? And he hasn't been in the hospital for about 10 years now, and he was really stable. And he says, well, if I don't use cannabis 2 or 3 times a week, I will have to get back to the hospital because I get a psychosis. And, well, he didn't know what he was taking. That's the biggest problem. They never know what they get from the black market. Some of them have friends who grow and tell them, well, this is the stuff you're getting. And, well, he tried something with CBD, and he found out he can sleep. And, well, I tried to find out what kind of medication could help. And there is this trial with schizophrenia and CBD, and I think this is the most groundbreaking thing, that CBD is actually fighting psychosis and symptoms of schizophrenia. And what helped this patient was that he was also suffering PTSD. That's many cases, patients who have schizophrenia get traumatized. Even if they haven't been traumatized until their first episode of psychosis, that's for most of them the first time they find out that they can not control their lives anymore. That's very frustrating for them. So it's this trauma is something that put him into this psychosis problem all the time. And with cannabis, he was able to sleep, and his mood was stable, so he didn't get any trigger for another psychosis. So we applied for approval. That means that before the law, we had to write a medical report for the Federal Institute of Drugs and Medical Devices, and they told, they said it's okay, and you get this approval or you don't, and he got this approval, and I was very excited about this because they accepted that even patients with schizophrenia can benefit from cannabis. Another thing is that the problems that come with cannabis are not only finances and stigmatization. What about their driver's license? That's a big topic right now here in Germany, because you lose your driver's license if you take cannabis, but you don't lose it if you take narcotics, opiates. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense that we don't have any laboratory means to find out. That's completely stupid. What I can't find is that always the evidence that we have right now is always told like anecdotal, but this is the only way we could find out how it worked. And if we say it's only anecdotal, we say what the patient says. Well, it's not as important as our trials, that what we get out of trials. And cannabis completely missed the boat of clinical trials. So right now, whenever we try to get reimbursement, they say, well, what is the indication? Where's the trial? So there aren't any trials. We have to start right now to get trials, and this is a big, big issue. We have to get this plant again into the society right now, but we have to communicate its medical properties first. People come to me and they say, well, we should legalize it. I think maybe yes, later, but right now I think it's the first step is to find out what do we have, what is cannabis, what kind of indications can we treat, how many patients will we have. And I would guess we have about 500,000 to 1 million patients who could benefit from cannabis. If we see that the society gets older and people who have to take opiates or sleeping pills, they get dizzy, and all those issues are so important to find out what can we do for our older generation with cannabis, what can we do with the younger generation. Right now we focus on the adults, but with this safety profile, I don't have too many medications who have the safety profile. There are many medications that I give over the counter and I say, okay, I hope this will go. He won't do himself anything, and this has never been happening for cannabis. It's really, really safe, and this is something we have to communicate on. Doctors have to find out that it's not bad. They always think about the dependency, they always think about the THC, the psychosis, but that's not really the big thing. They have to find out that it's actually widespread. You can use it for many, many diseases and ailments, and it's not really toxic. Most doctors associate cannabis with severe pain and MS, and we have so many indications that we can try to use it. And besides ADHD, which is I think a disease that cannabis can be very, very helpful. We have to find out if we have other things like bowel diseases and spasms and all this. We have two indications. We have the psychiatric and we have the somatic. And right now it's only focused on the somatic, and I hope that we will have the psychiatric use as well. Well, thank you if you have any questions.